We expect to see a continuation of shareholder activism. That's from retail investors, including through the Shareholders Association, and increasingly institutional investors. And that's picking up on a number of international trends. We also expect to see the Financial Markets Authority continuing to treat good board conduct as one of its highest strategic priorities.
I think another thing that we're going to see an increase on is a focus on diversity and diversity reporting, and that's going to be given a good kick along by the new NZX Corporate Governance Code. That code's also going to kick along strategy reporting, which we expect to see more of. It's going to give a particular focus on ESG reporting, that's environmental, social and governance. And finally, dear to the heart of many investors, it's going to lead to increased disclosure of remuneration, in particular CEO remuneration.
We've built a detailed data series based on last year's annual reports for the top 75 listed companies by value. We looked at a range of measures: board composition, size, how often boards meet, diversity, and also the length of service that directors have been engaged on for a range of companies. And that last one showed quite a bit of variability, with an average around 6, but going up to 30 years in one case.
On diversity, there were also some significant differences in the proportion of women on boards. What we found was that the top 25 tends to have a higher proportion of women on boards, as do companies who have been listed for some time, but it's not showing a rapid improvement in diversity statistics. Well, look, there's a clear interest of investors and the public in director and CEO remuneration disclosure. We don't think that interest is going to go away anytime soon. In fact, it's going to be given a boost by the new NZX Corporate Governance Code.
So our data series showed that remuneration is quite hard to understand at the moment. There's not consistency of reporting, and it's very hard to draw comparisons year by year, but the code should lead to some improvement in that as there's more standardisation. The code's a significant refresh of the last code that was developed back in 2002. It picks up on a lot of international developments, but it's also been tailored for New Zealand circumstances. For the larger companies, it's not going to be that difficult to comply with because a number of them have already been reporting on similar principles from the ASX Corporate Governance Code. However, for the smaller companies, it will require a bit more transparency around the way that boards are structured, their diversity, and certainly their remuneration reporting.
There's also an increased focus on non-financial disclosure. We've already talked about ESG disclosure, but in addition, there's a requirement for companies to discuss the risks that they're facing and how they're being managed, as well as any other non-financial and operational matters, and something again dear to the heart of investors, the company's strategy and how that's being developed.